Sedu, the other day, a very interesting thing happened. My daughter came up to me and Swara asks me, Baba, you know what? It's been 12 years. How fast time flies. And I said, you know what, Swara? Time has flown faster for Josh than you.
They haven't grown together.
Yeah,
Josh and
so,
the daughters.
It's interesting. I was telling her, she asked me, what was the time when before me? So she was born in 2009 and Pragati was born in 2008.
Yeah.
And we started Josh in 2007.
Yeah.
So I joked with her and said, you know what? Between Setu and me, we had 3 kids in 3 years.
Yeah. The financial year.
Yeah, exactly. In the financial year. What do you think was the time, what was going through your thought process before starting Josh, 2007 time frame when we were actually starting up?
So initially we both were working in Veritas. No, you quit and joined Panta.
Panta Systems.
That time I was working with Veritas. Then I made up a mind, I want to confirm with my parents and my wife. My wife supported. Then that's how we both started.
Yeah, I know, and I must share one, personal secret. There was a time when we were going to start up, and you had said, I'm going to go home and tell my parents about it. I was telling my wife at that time, यार अगर चालू करना है ना अकेला चालू कर सकते हैं. It's very easy for an entrepreneur to start up alone, but it's very difficult to continue running.
Yes, individually.
If Setu is there with me, it's 2 people doing 3 people's work, 5 people's work.
Yes.
If it's 1 person, for some time you can do 2 people's work and then it slowly dies out because you get tired.
Yes, that's true.
What's the time you remember in 2000, between 2008 and 2009? The best times and the worst times.
Yeah, best times. So we get to work what we want to.
For the first time, we actually experienced freedom.
Freedom, yes.
Freedom to see, life is great.
Yeah, do you want to? Nobody's dictating you, so you choose what you want.
Do you remember the first day where both of us were just sitting on that table saying, what do we do now?
Yes, the first day.
We started without insurance, without finance, without savings because we spent all our money in a lot of
literally
pubs.
Without salary.
Without no salary, no savings. Wives are working, wives are not working. We had home loans, car loans. But the first 6 months.
So if I ask you if we can start with the same way, would you?
I'm damn sure our both answers are going to be the same. Unless all your hair goes grey and unless I go completely bald, I don't think I will ever start up in the same way that we started up again.
Definitely no.
It's safe to say we were quite lucky.
Yeah.
Moving on, 2010, first 3 years, they always say that the 1,000 days, the first 1,000 days of any startup is the toughest.
Yes.
We reached our first 1,000 days somewhere in 2010.
2010, yes.
2010-ish. Do you remember the time?
Yes.
Where we had a
loan.
Where we had a loan and a balance of 237 rupees in our account.
And no big clients.
No big clients and salaries to pay.
Yes.
We took an unsecured loan. Yeah, you know what? What do you think is the importance of pushing through the tough times?
Yes. And we went through. I remember how the bank played a game for the interest rate.
Everyone is going to play a game in life. Starting up is always going to be tough. People are going to play around with you. There are going to be team troubles. There are going to be financial troubles. There's going to be clashes between us.
Yes.
But we got to plow through it, and that's what actually got us through. But 2011 to 2014 was freaking awesome, right?
Awesome. Yes, that's true.
Starting off as Ruby on Rails specialists.
Yes. That's a right choice.
It was a risk. It was a gamble.
Initially,
We were riding the wave. In 2007, nobody even knew about Ruby, let alone Rails. And do you remember the time we got a call from the DNA newspaper?
Yeah, for railway.
What do you all do for the railways? Yes. And when I said, we are going to work with Ruby on Rails,
they cut the phone.
The phone was cut even before I finished Ruby on Rails. And I said software framework. Then we've come a long way. 2011 to 2014. We were touted as, the Ruby on Rails experts of India. Yes. We started organizing RubyConf India, and life was great. So, Sedu, our 2011 to 2014, Josh was really touted as the industry leader in Ruby on Rails. What do you think accounted for this brand identity or the brand leadership that we had?
Yeah, at the right time we started sponsoring Ruby conference, India, US, and you started talking in the conferences. And you have written a book.
Yeah, so basically having a strong community presence with leadership, writing, publishing books. If not publishing books, speaking at conferences. If not speaking at conferences, sponsoring conferences. And this sponsoring of conferences, interestingly, has not got us. The intent was never hiring.
Yeah.
The intent was to build
Brand.
out the presence of a leadership.
Yes.
And I think that was the time it was a good decision where we said, let's invest in the new
Technology. Yes.
in Go.
Yeah. Along with that, we also sponsored our employee go across the country and speak at the conference.
Isn't that a moment of pride that we have? That I think about 6-7 of our employees have been representing Josh in almost 8 different countries across the world.
That's
in a span of 3-4 years.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it took so much of load off my head that
it's not only US, across Brazil, Australia, Thailand.
It was just a matter of keeping the momentum going.
Yes.
What was your thoughts? Now you tell me, Sedu, what are your thoughts? 2014 onwards.
2014 onwards, then maybe personally realized we are grown and we need to take a next step.
Yeah, we were we wanted to be a crack commando team.
Yes.
Just like Uri, going around with the house, the Josh.
Yeah.
With, being a crack commando team of like 35 people. And we realized that we need to do something different in life.
Yeah.
You remember the time we used to work maybe 2 days a week?
2 days a week.
And we had nothing to do.
Yes, we sit alone and think something else.
And we did.
Yes.
We had 3 startups in 2015.
That's true. So that's how I think simply smart, quick and sure, everything born.
All in one.
Yeah.
And do you think that was a good move? Out of curiosity, do you think it's good to have like a services company? Yes, we started 3 other product companies, but starting 3 product companies in a year, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was a risk, but worth the risk.
It was worth the risk?
Yes, maybe
at the cost of your grey hair and my baldness.
That's true.
Yeah. So our CA very lovingly told us one day, he called us aside and said, you two beep, 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 beep. You have got a cash-rich company and got it down to the road. Yeah, but then that startup journey, right?
Yeah, if there is no challenge, then it will be boring.
If there is no challenge, it will be ridiculously boring.
Yes.
So, but it paid off.
Yes.
2015, 16, 17, tough times of our life. Yes. We went through our second cycle of trying to regroup the company. Yeah. But 2017, what do you think? 2017, our company strength went up to...
Yeah, that's the time we increased drastically the number.
We went from 35 to
and
65
even we got
people.
into Golang.
We started Go.
Yeah.
So basically we bet on the new wave.
Yes.
And diversifying into different things, betting on a new horse. We started doing Go, React, Android, iOS.
Yeah.
The stuff that we could make us a one-stop shop.
Yes. Initially we were related to mobile.
Yeah. So coming to the highlights of 2019. One of the biggest highlights that we had in Josh was taking the decision to actually start a development delivery center in the US.
Yes.
Right? 2 questions for you.
Oh.
Right? What took us so long? And, what's it going to do for us?
Yeah, initially we were contemplating, so whether to start it or not. Then we took a conscious decision last year, 2019. And we thought, now we are not dependent on the US economy, so this is the right time we can start and make a difference.
Yeah, so not being dependent on a single economy really helps our business a lot to do our risk management. And I believe, the idiosyncrasies between us have been not to start an office in the US because who's going to move to the US. Yeah. So it's good that Sachin Chindre is actually volunteered and said, to steer the helm at the helm of the ship.
And he's going to head the US operation.
Yeah, to head the US operations for the next maybe 5 to 6 years at least.
Yes.
And I think that will bring about a huge boost to the economy of scale.
Yeah.
Because now we'll have to have a good US presence. We'll have a 24 hours, time difference, which will give us around the clock development.
Support, yeah.
And an excellent sales representative there too.
Yeah. And with that result, we might think of opening in different locations.
Why not?
Yep.
And that's on the cards.
Yep.
Should be fun.
Yes.
So any advice to people who are in the mid segment between like about 55, 60 people company?
Yeah. So the growth from 60 to 100 is easy. So from the 100 above, quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. We are in that phase right now. We are about 100 and 120 people today.
Yeah.
And we have very strong plans to make it to like about 200 people in a year's time.
Yeah.
And 2025, what does it look like?
25 it's greeny, and maybe we set a target.
About 500 people.
500 people.
You got to do it. It's on tape.
Yes.
You got to do 500 people.
Yes.
In 2025.
Yes.
Right.
And the target
target revenues. Maybe 2028 is 2027 is when we will complete 20 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think we should go on record and say, we want to be IPO ready?
We should be.
Yeah,
Yes.
we should be IPO ready. You're game for it?
Yes.
If you're game for it, I'm game for it.
Yeah.
And let's get that going. How's that for a plan?
It's a plan.
All right. Wish you a great 2020.
Yes.
And a great 2027.
27.